We're in the upside down right now as Big Clan managed to take Dust to 16-6. And this time we spoke about it. They needed their players individually stepping up, and that's exactly what happened. Despite G2's best efforts, I'm going to continue to come back to this on these teams that picked Dust 2. You can never be 100% on it. I think Astralis must be one of the only teams where we have seen a constant domination on a map like Dust 2. Everyone else takes it 50-50. And Pimp, I'm going to start with you because I know you feel the same, mate.
I do feel the same to some degree. At least I think that if you want to consistently pick Dust 2 as your main map, you better make sure that you're really solid on it. And I don't think that there's no team right now that you say, you know, they're the clear number one on Dust 2. There's a few teams who play at a high level, and one of them is Big Clan at the moment. They were looking really, really sharp in this one. tabseN, again, I think we have to highlight him. Not only is he doing a lot of the in-game leading duties in this team, he's a fantastic player, especially on the T side. He was the powerhouse between that first half, right? Big Clan was absolutely owning G2 in that first half. tabseN finished at a T rating of 1.82 against G2. That's insanity. So yeah, tabseN being, you know, the in-game leader, I guess, and also the main man to go out there and just do the dirty job. It's impressive how well he's playing at the moment.
Now, Potter, you've got some magic to draw for us this time around, looking at what k1to was able to do, right? The man of the hour.
Yeah, exactly. And this is, again, one of those rounds where G2, we're at a man advantage. Searson, he's going to go out long A, and he gets taken out by a good HE grenade and a lot of pressure towards long. But this is one of the great things that Big has been showing us all tournament long is the layers that they have within these rounds. So take a look at k1to and take a look at Xantares. Xantares and k1to are communicating with each other right now. And as Xantares throws this Molotov, he's going to make Hunter respect the speed push. You can even see that Kenny S immediately adjusts towards that B, and that's when k1to pounces. But the great thing about this is he goes for more. He pushes through the smoke and understands that the A player is now going to start shifting his focus towards him, gets a nice one tap on Nexa, and he even finishes it off with the third kill. So if we can go to the point of view of k1to here, you're going to see that this is one of the great things about having your players be so practiced and understand exactly where the rotations are going to come from, how to manipulate those rotations and capitalize on them. So this is Big, once again, being at a disadvantage, a man down, but finding the looks and opportunities all across the map. And it's so great to see them coming out so well prepared on this Dust 2.
They were looking really good on Dust 2. And I think actually a scary part of this, right, is now we're going over to Mirage. And for that to be the deciding map in this, I'm looking at this and thinking, okay, G2, yes, you did drop the ball when it came to playing your map of Dust 2. But if the individuals step up like this again for Big, well, we could all be in a very confusing state again.
Yeah, and you're right. It could be a super close game. I just want to look towards the history, right, for Big Clan. They lost to Mad Lions, they lost to Complexity and OT, and they lost to Sprout the other day on Mirage. They're not really feeling that comfortable on that map right now, so I'm not sure why they allowed it to be the third map when Vertigo was an option. That being said, though, they may have had some time to practice. We'll have to wait and see. But James, at the very least, I expect a close game because I think both these lineups have been playing well so far tonight.
Oh, yes, they've played well on the maps that were not their picks. The madness continues, and Mirage is coming up next. We're heading to a break, but when you come back, it's a decider between G2 and Big Clan.
We've got ourselves one last map here in this best of three. One last map in our upper bracket grand finals. One of these two teams going to be in the grand finals of this event. And that's a very exciting prospect considering it comes with the one map advantage in the BO5 series. We know how much that can mean. So Big and G2 ready to lock horns on Mirage. Mohan, are you ready?
I am. I mean, every map's delivered in some way or another. Like, you don't expect G2 to drop a map that badly to Big, but that makes this more interesting. This is a terrifying map for G2, though. We saw them play it versus Na'Vi yesterday. They looked just incredible, honestly, on Mirage. And they'll push it to its limits. But Big, there are no sledges on this map either. 70% win rate for them in the recent maps. And I think there's, a chance for here for them to surprise. It really comes down to how well they knew the veto, if they expected a third map and how much they prepared. Because when they prepare, it's clear that shines through into the actual match. Definitely the biggest part about Big Clan the most outstanding part is that when they do prepare for teams, you see it translate perfectly into the execution in the real thing, which is more than you can say for a lot of teams. They prepare for a map, but all plans go out the window when they get hit. As Mike Tyson said, everyone's got a plan until they get hit. But for Big, it seems like maybe with Gob, maybe with the help of Godbrain of the Godbrain of Germany, that the preparation can actually be used in a palpable way.
Yeah, he's like the Wizard of Oz. You know, he's behind the curtains, pulling all the strings, keeping this project together, and that's something we've got to remember, right? This is a very fresh Big. This is a team that we start the year with a victory at DreamHack Open Leipzig. So the LAN series was going well for them. They've returned back to the online world, and sure enough, as you said, with time off, we always get a great showing from Big. I think we did see a nice level of preparation across Dust 2. My eye still falls on like that second pistol where we had all of the CTs stacked inside of middles. Zanteres calls out the tunnels player and cuts off what was supposed to be a very elaborate fake from G2. So I definitely feel like the preparation's here. I feel like the mind games are here. And with both of the opponents picking up their other team's map pick and doing it in such convincing fashion, I really don't think that we can have very solid expectations coming into Mirage. All we know, like you said, we saw G2 versus Na'Vi here and it looked good. But also don't forget that it was only made possible by the fact that Na'Vi screwed up a bomb plant in the 24th round of that map, where suddenly G2 were able to punish, and off of that gained economy, and then they were given anti-ecos, and then they were able to take it. And it was in overtime, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Double OT maybe. So it's not as though it was incredibly convincing, but we know that they can lock horns, and that's what we've had all series long. We've had individuals stepping up at different times, and so what really can we expect other than fireworks?
Yeah, I mean, even in the match versus Na'Vi yesterday, it was so many clutch rounds that went the way of G2 that made a huge difference. And I just would like to know, how good is searsN going to be on this map? Because the guy who didn't get a chance to get started on Nuke looked great on Dust 2 for the rounds that they needed him. But it was weird because he almost wasn't needed in both situations. Like the one map came too easily. One map, they killed everyone around him, made it impossible for him to play. Hopefully Mirage is a bit more balanced. And we have a chance to mirror what we saw in the first series of the day with a closer third map potentially. And this is seriously such a high stakes map now that, every time we have to bring this up. This is a bracket finals, already amazing result for Big, but if they win this, they have a great chance of literally winning the whole tournament with that one map advantage in the finals.
The guaranteed final spot on the line. So let's go. One more map, one more match. This one's for a lot of marbles. Get your grandma, get your friends, tell everybody. It's Big in G2 here on Mirage. And Zanteres, well, he looks to be the forefront of this B hit. Big gonna try and sink their teeth into Amanek. And with his Molotov not cutting off the first two, they definitely have some pressure, and it's perfect. Just solid entry frags here for Big. You couldn't ask for a cleaner start to pistol, but Jax, can he bring this back? He one-taps Zanteres, smokes down the bench, and creates a little bit of space, but tabseN takes away his teammate, and Tizian through the smoke? Oh God, it's gonna be one of these games.
Yeah, another deliberate execution here from Big Clan. They come into B. They have a feeling about where the player is on bench. They get the first frag. Keto doesn't move from his angle, holds that down until the peak comes out, nails the frag. 2-0. Smoke still down on Cat. Everything goes perfectly for Big, even though Jax comes in for that one kill. 4 kills on 4 different players for Big Clan. Bomb will get exploded, and G2, they drop another one. They'll be able to recycle this half armor. But yeah, it's a really, really solid... It's a really solid round, and it makes me wonder how prepared Big are for Mirage. Look at this. I mean, Keto, it looked like Keto's just running at him, but Keto was literally not entertaining the thought of any other position except for that one right side of the bench.
Yeah, he had locked on a missile cutting through the bomb site for that second kill. And the entry is just so quick that even with Jax one-tapping on the retake, they were already able to cut everybody down. Tizian through the smoke. I mean, that's just yuck. tabseN, before the smoke pops here inside of Connector, is able to find Kenny S. And Nexa, curious position. It was actually an eco round versus Na'Vi that Nexa was able to win from this very position. He cuts off 2 players towards the B site, and from there, it really kickstarted the economy. So I like that Nexa plays aggressive in apps. I like that the Deagles can't always be the long-range cannons. Sometimes you use them as like mini shotguns too. You know, you gut punch them. and you just slap them back across the doorway. But nobody's actually challenging Nexa until now. Xantares is going to walk in with the bomb. That could be a very dangerous game. We do have 3 Ts coming up from Catwalk, but this frag from Nexa could be the most important. And it doesn't even go check. He's not going to regain his vision, or is he? All the while, it's going fantastically on the bomb site. They've done it all. It's just tabseN left. He's got 2 kills in this round, 100 health, a player back on the bomb site, nips at his heels, and now Jax is brought back to just 5 HP. 30 seconds.
Oh, man. Well, yeah, he wants first sight on the bomb. Smoke down in his face, though. He's so low as they are. He needs to get the drop on both players, plus recollect the bomb. 20 seconds up, he cannot go back to A is the thing. So they give him the bomb. They just need to shoot him in the side. I mean, they play it together this time around. They'll have to jump out and make noise. Jax can kind of take his time with this. And yeah, it's a beautiful shot, but they had every advantage in the world. The only way they lose, really, is if they play 2 1v1s. After the time, there's a certain amount of time you babysit the bomb, and then at the 20-second mark when he can't go A anymore, you have it locked in, right? He cannot come out silently, probably won't be able to find a way. And now, yeah, it's over. It's crazy, bro, that it's like Groundhog Day with Nexa sitting in the halls waiting for them 2 players to come at him, and he gets the kill again.
Yeah, I was getting flashbacks. I saw it coming. Xantares, he will definitely clear that corner next time around, but a trio of Huandigs in that second round. Jax, he gets 2, popping out of Marketplace, as we saw in the replay, just as big were coming up from Catwalk, and then he finishes it off with 1 as well.
He also, Xantares also entered before the flash went off. Like, he came out into Nexa's deagle. Kind of the same thing happened yesterday, except yesterday the flash just missed, and Nexa was able to avoid it. But both are equally bad, of course, because they give you false confidence on the peak. Of course.
Down goes one of the 2 weapons that Big were looking to use here in the 3rd round. searson's Scout still up, and tiziaN, well, he's gone ahead and recovered that AK. So that's a little bit something for Big, but Nexa just executes tabseN. Another crisp headshot versus searsonn, and while Xantares is also a capable deagler, well, Hunter's got his number. tiziaN gonna give a hep his flank, and that's not good. He missed his 1 chance really back into this one. Will still tap into the head of Nexa, so we know that the aim is on point across the board in this series. At this point, we are 2 maps down. You could throw the tactics and the strats out the window. At least we know everybody's fired up. 3 rounds deep, and G2 lead by 1.
Yeah, and after that round, they'll have to take a seat and wait this one out till they can get their money back, because G2, they score the pistol, they score the second follow-up, the scary one, the economic game of chicken. They win that duel, and now, yeah, they'll have a free kind of collect them, beat them up round where they can just try to mow down these pistol rounds and collect some ADR. I really would like to have the ADR sorted, you know, while there's impact, and that's recognized in some of the statistics, but in the ADR stat alone, for that to be a kind of a like partner stat to it, you know, like how much impact out of the ADR, whatever it is.
Instead of like MVPs. Yeah, get rid of MVPs and give us impact stats.
Yeah, but like, to be serious, like have them both, but just like separate within the ADR how much of it was on rifle rounds or important rounds. You know, it's represented by a different stat, but since we reference ADR specifically so often, that'd be cool. I mean, to have it on the scoreboard, of course, would be the coolest, but
great grenade.
LTV, of course, would be great as well.
No, actually, it doesn't kill Kenny. He gets tagged up by the scout, and then everybody for G2 just pokes their heads out into mid, trying to keep back Big, and it worked. searsonn, he was so committed to the follow-up with his grenade that he's just standing in no man's land. Face on display. Looks like G2 could take this one if they hold on to the man advantage, but I'm very curious to see what risks they run. ammoniak, he's up on the porch, and that's going to be burned out. tiziaN, he could get him as he retreats, but no, he slips back behind the van. Still, great damage.
He second-guessed it for a second. Yeah, didn't realize someone could be there. ammoniak waiting a good amount of time inside of the fire. Good amount of map control here for Big as they press towards base cat split, and Nexa can hold it down from CPL. This is their main pain point. I don't know if they know he's here, but they might suspect it.
Could be. He likes to float inside this ladder room.
They got to be waiting for a flash. Oh, they don't suspect it at all.
Done.
No flash,
Roasted.
nothing.
Just the sideline execution. 5 versus 3. Keto and tabseN. And Xanterez left over. They're able to go past the jungle, and they're going to challenge the ticket, but oh boy, Keto, he looks away just as he could have found Hunter's head. Hunter extends, and there's Jax back from the depths of the bomb site. tabseN is in the post plant, funnily enough, but he is not long for this world. Nexa's quick rotate over means G2 survive with 4 and 4 to the scoreboard. They lead by 3 versus Big.
3, 4, and 5 alive in the last 3 rounds, I believe. All these important rounds. So the money is starting to stack up quite high already for G2. And this is the 1 kill. So much of Mirage comes down to CPL. If you have a CT in here, that means you can watch the back of connector. You can watch the bottom of window for an underpass lurk. You can watch cat. You can be a fast rotate to stop connector presence. If you jump out of CPL, there's so many things you can do with it. And of course, if the T's don't even suspect you there, you can have amazing impact and just, you know, voraciously attack multiple targets. tabseN, go kill flash molly live. 23 kills, 10 death, 127 ADR, 33 enemies flashed, and 232 utility damage. tabseN dominated nearly every stat line on Dust 2. We'll call that a triple-double for Counter-Strike. That is... yeah, definitely impressive. And you could see all of the HE damage from all of Big Clan that game. They had so many well-placed grenades that entire second half and first half as well.
We find Kenny S posted up on middle immediately. There's some early damage versus Xanterez, but a flying offer in tabseN cut down. He is now officially 0-0-5. Not the best starts for tabseN. We've seen him die top mid 2 rounds back to back. tabseN almost able to punish Hunter for extending there on the smoke, but will Hunter expect a player up close, and will Nexa expect this? tabseN flashing him and looking to go one better to the very far depths of that B bomb site. All the while, we also have a little ramp pressure. So CTs right now, they're being hit on both sides of the map. Everybody's pressured. This is going to limit rotations. This is going to confuse communications. And yet still we get some resistance here from Jax. He denies Keto the ability to wrap around through jungle. tabseN, he's answered. He gets a kill back, and Xanterez, he's looking for this line of sight, but Kenny S has come over, and now they're putting a stop to it. There is a road open for Big. They could jump into the window and still try this split. Where does tabseN go? He's managed to get through the murder hole, and Kenny S, he's not prepared for that. Another frag for tabseN. That's 2 players off of the A site, but Jax is still here.
Oh, did he see him?
He must have.
Oh my God, yeah,
it.
no, someone called it, yeah.
And now tabseN, 11 HP. He runs!
He has to go the long way to B. Yeah, so I mean, Jax knows though, with the amount of time left over, it's not going to be an A play. It's really just about where the second target is, and it looks like, yeah, he'll need his teammates' help to get out of the window, and he can cover this safely. Honestly, he has a chance to just knock this down.
He sprays.
Oh my God, that's actually nuts. I almost love that. I almost love that he sprayed. I mean,
Lord.
Wow.
He calls out the timing.
I mean, the kill had to come in instantly, and he had to avoid bullets there. That pre-fire could have been everything. tabseN is so lucky. That was round. That was the round in that kill.
tabseN just peeks into a garden hose of gunfire and comes out with the crisp execution. The headshot there from the Windows peak, it's huge because, again, if that bomb gets dropped, there's no recovering it. There's no time. But in the end, it's the win.
Tell me how Big win that, though. Like, that was such a good start there for G2, and they get everything in order, all of the kills, the madness slows down, and then Big have to perform some heroics, getting wind room control, getting into CT spawn, tabseN finding a frag off of CAD as well. They had no idea where he could have been, but it should have been a bit more obvious.
Yeah, very haphazard rotation there from G2. I feel like they kind of let their guard down in a 4 versus 2 for just a moment. And that's one of those elements that I want to compare between like Big and Astralis. You know, Astralis known to punish opponents for making mistakes. There was that time period where that was the only way to win versus Astralis, was making 0 mistakes and also playing lights out CS. Well, Big do this quite well also. If you are going to make those minute missteps, they will punish you for it. We'll see if they can find another one of those mid-round type moments, because this was a 5 versus 4 for G2, and Hunter, is going to get back that man advantage. He's being pressured from the palace. He eats the flash, and Keto, he tries to take that duel, but Hunter has cover because he has Jax back behind the firebox, and there's also a third CT coming in from spawn. Hunter doesn't even need eyes. No vision on tabseN as he drops that one, but it's G2 with their 5th.
Last round's all about tabseN. This one's all about Hunter. 9 frags. He's in bad position sometimes, but he's still getting these kills. He happily takes the fight with Keto, half blind, just seeing him, and then we're gonna get in-game insight from Pim.
Yeah, because what a messy start to this game. We see tabseN, the first round right here. To the nerds out there remembering the game yesterday, G2 did the exact same setup where they stacked towards B. Look at them, 4 players over here and Big just running in blindly. Nexa getting a kill right here, Hunter getting a kill right here, Jax getting a kill right here. If they would have done the preparation, they saw Na'Vi do the exact same thing yesterday where G2 also won a round on it. So good start for G2, not so well for Big. They need to go and do the preparation a little bit more thorough.
It's funny because it seems like a double-edged sword with them. Well, not a double-edged sword so much where the preparation does shine through, but in rounds like that, you wonder if they did have any, because that would seem like the most startling round from the last map that we watched. But clearly, they had no idea that Nexa would be there, sitting in his favorite angle, trying to pull off the exact same play as we saw yesterday.
The reward for the last round is it's just pistols off of the tactical timeout. Big 4 Deagles, 1 P250. Single set of Kevlar. And tabseN's the first player to take some damage here. But we get the simultaneous op kills between ammoniec and kennyS. And this was a very fun double op setup to watch yesterday. So I've got high expectations for it. And I'm very excited to see searson start piecing this together. He has to be a part of the solution in terms of the op duel. Because it's been a rough start. He's going to tap that pistol down mid, but empty-handed he is as G2 take their 6th.
Clean start so far. They dropped that one kind of unforgivable round and the pistol round, which they came back from. But apart from that, Big haven't gotten much going. And even in that second round, G2 had the edge up until the point that they lost pretty much every step of the way. So yeah, let's see if it's a flash in the pan or not. Big going to move out, bomb in through B-apps, looking for mid control again. Just to reiterate for the new viewers, this map is everything. Upper bracket finals for both teams, winner grand finals. Map advantage in the best of 5 in the finals, and we know what that could mean for Big.
Oh, Kenny. He was so scared that player was about to chase him with the peek. And tabseN does come in a moment later. But now kennyS, he's actually lost his vision. He's been spotted again. He is in such a tough spot, but Nexa's trying to come bail him out, and that's the ejection route. Nexa, I love it. He throws himself into the frying pan and walks out with kennyS by his side. tabseN, he's been able to get his way up connector, so he's gonna find a back turned inside of Palace. Jax down, but they do still have Hunter on the same balcony, and he did not expect that. Hunter falls into the site. He predicts Xanterra's on the peak. Luckily, ammoniec takes him as Hunter looks away, so a double man advantage for G2. Keto, one and done. And that bomb is just going to try its damnedest to get into this B site. But there's a player beneath him, so searson, he's dead.
Good coverage all around for G2. I mean, everything was locked down. Hunter again getting critical refrag. And for tabseN, it feels like a lot of these rounds are based around what he wants to do, which is totally fine because he delivers as an entry fragger on the T side. But it doesn't feel like all of the other pieces are being controlled to complement him the best. Instead, it looks like a default goes on. He pulls off some kind of audacious lurk, and then if he gets a kill, great. But there's no chance for the refrag there on tabseN. There's no actual steps forward to go forward with an A exec, and so when he dies, it's like almost for nothing. We've seen that happen a couple of times now.
Well, they have managed to get out the windowsill. ammoniec, he's going to die empty-handed. kennyS, he picks up one, but Nexa, well, he also dies on the back of bench. So the B players have fallen, and the bomb site is compromised. The plant comes in for Big, and while these CTs still have full HP, all the weapons and grenades in the world, there's that very scary prospect of searson on the op, and he's already caught off Kenny. Jax and Hunter, they're still coming in from different directions. Xanterra, he's boosted on the bomb site. tabseN, he gets his paws on a gun, and it looks like Big have managed to win this. It's Jax left, and down he goes. The B burst from Big.
Every once in a while, the Fnatic B works out in your favor. Tech9s, we know, taking a step up in presence across the entire pro scene so far. A great opening kill from tabseN right through the Molotov. No surprise that Nexa wasn't worried, and all of these upgraded guns doubling up as post-plant fragging machines. The op on kennyS ends up trading to the wrong pair of hands there on searson, and yeah, all the entries are just fine. 3v3, we'll take that all day if we get the bomb down in the B site on Mirage.
Looks like they're going to try B bomb site once again, and understandably so. But amanek, one of those two oppers, a constant threat in this position.
Man, I can't believe the amount of map control being forfeited here by G2. No one in window. No one can see a mid lurk and the potential for it. We saw Big abuse this in the past. And the thing is, even if no one actually boosts into window, you're so scared as a CT, covering angles you don't need to. Oh, Nex is in CTL, so excuse me. Okay, they've got this covered. I, for some reason, saw him in the B apps pushed again.
You are excused.
Okay.
You got those old man eyes, you know? Nobody blames you, man. You're past your prime. tabseN, he's going to jump right into this line of sight. Nexa, he's feeling the pressure. He's feeling the heat. The headshot connects amanek as well with the op, able to topple one, but he burns to a crisp because of tabseN. And Kenny, he can't manage that cross. He's allowed the bomb carrier onto the site, and that bomb goes down. Kenny goes out, and as he does so, he's gonna get cut off by Xantares. Look for a moment like kennyS was gonna have a chance to just jump around the bomb site, swinging the op around, but it seems like Jax is out of this one. Big, using that B bomb site yet again to their success. They've got themselves a fourth.
I don't mind them doing what works now, because we've seen the B site success be kind of their only round that's been clean, and they do it with the rifles this time around. Nexa is man of the hour inside of CPL, stopping it. Initially had looked like he was in B halls for some reason, and the cat was open, but even still, he doesn't get his kill. They chase him down, which is great from Big Clan. They keep it super simple and immediately turn the corner on the site, leaving one person in there. The trades aren't so hot for G2, and they seem to get a little bit rattled. Kenny is coming right out the window in what was basically a 3v3 to try to get his frag, and he tried extremely hard as well to stop the bomb from crossing. Another situation where Big win the round off of a B play.
1 M4. 1 M4 from Jax. And how's he going to bring this round back? He's not supposed to. Definitely not. I love that he surrounds himself with the pistol pawns. He's trying to be the shiny queen, but it's over towards the B bomb site yet again. The big go. B stands for big.
Yeah, they've branded it. They've left their mark here at this point. So it's on G2 to figure out what their adaptation is in the next rifle round. We know that sometimes they're going to throw in a hard mid, and if they do that, it helps out Nexa. If he wants to play in CPL, he could potentially get cleared out, mollied, or etc. Now that Big want to keep eyes on B. Certainly, no matter what they do now, they're going to make G2 think they're going B at the very least. But if G2 decide to push out mid with Hunter Nexa, they establish top mid control. First of all, they stop all the cat plays, and then they have 3 rotates to go up cat if they want to, or if they need to try to retake B. But I think the 2 elements that are the most important for G2 be probably opping B halls and taking mid control in one way or another.
I wonder how many more of these B hits before Nexa decides to throw himself deep in the apartments. We know he likes to get aggressive in there, more so on the half buys than anything else. But we've seen him charge through to save kennyS and underpass, etc. So I do think he hears his name being called there by the sirens of the B apartments. 2-round advantage still for G2, and obviously now coming back in with guns. Jax managed to save his M4 yet again, so he still has that bonus $3,000. Nexa, he is going to move forward, but it's not on B, it's on mid. Charges right to the tippity top of it, and look at Big. They're going to go ahead and use that same momentum to try and clash through the B site. tabseN, great headshot versus amanek, and there's nobody else here to stop them. The entirety of the CT's down on Cat, smoked off with Keto to keep that blocked, maybe it looks like they want to turn their attention over towards market. But again, don't forget, there's nobody over there. All of G2's remaining players are here on Cat. It's gonna be the clash. And so far, it's looking good for the defense as this retake really starts rolling. They, however, are still on that same line. They could have gotten sprayed down, but that doesn't happen. tabseN, he's all that's left. He doubles back through the apartments. The bomb's not planted for him. He has to run forward. He's trying to get him off, which he will. And now there's no kit. There's no kit. I think this comes down to the wire. They have to give it up. tabseN slips out apps and takes the 6th round.
Oh my God. It's literally exactly what I was expecting G2 to do. And Big going back to B once again. They pull a retake off from Cat. It all gets lost because of somebody jumping out of the halls. But it could have gotten even sketchier there for G2. They were kind of fortunate to get some of those kills, even in the retake. I think the only thing is they don't have enough pressure on the B halls. They needed to have, like, I mean, an op could be scary with all those nades coming that way, but their player sitting in the site is getting bullied over and over again.
They had a player back on Van in that post plant as well, like in the defuse moment, but he didn't seem to have deep vision down apps. Jax, he's one of the 2 pistol players to pick up a headshot. Kenny S as well with the deagle. Unfortunately for G2, they were looking for that AK in Palace, but Jax is killed as he tries to rob it away. So man advantage still for G2, and Hunter actually does have that AK. But obviously it's over here on the catwalk that he waits. He sees the barrel. Size matters. syrsoN, he's lost the element of surprise. Oh, but nexa almost drops that. Okay, 3 for 3 on the deagle shots, and 2 versus 4 is where we are left off. Xantares, good little crosshair adjustment. He has to give cover as tiziaN tries to plant. aMoNEK decides not to peek, so both T's with their weapons back up. They've got a flashbang between the 2. A double smoke retake for G2. But do they use the utilities? Right now, they're just letting that bomb tick as they start crouching and getting closer. They're closing this distance silently. Hunter, he's going to peek around the triple stack. A little flick attempt from tiziaN doesn't go his way, and Xantares is also empty-handed. G2 Esports, they win with just pistols yet again.
Nice to see that escort from Hunter across the site. aMoNEK playing his role to perfection, not peeking too hard, calling out that default spray. And the guy on default, you want to maintain tension with him because he doesn't have a place to fall back from. So he's going to bite on anything that he can get. Because if he gets a kill in CT spawn, it opens up so many more lines of sight for him as he can move around the box. But without that kill, well, he's stuck.
All right, let's go. One more. Big, back in with the buy. Damn, it is crazy to me that they are only trailing by 2 rounds, but they have 2 players with still only 3 frags, and it's Keto and syrsoN. If you guys remember that stat that Launders brought up at the beginning of this series, those are the 2 players who have the highest rating versus top 5 opponents in the world. G2 is number 1/2, and right now, they need to step up. Maybe it comes in the second half. Maybe they can do it here to close the first. Either way, the final and 15th T round from Big. And they are just looking to hit this A site by storm. Jax, he's going to activate, pushing into the Palace and cutting off Keto. This could be killer. He's got all of the control for Palace, but he decides to go back through the Molotov, burns himself down to 2/3 his health, and still, Big don't make their move because they're buying time for tabseN. He's come out from jungle. And while Hunter's sitting inside of the smoke, tabseN, he finds perfect timing. Hunter's able to claw it back. Jax now from Firebox, instantaneous headshots. It's all starting to fumble and fall. They get out ramped, but they get no further. G2, 9-6 after the first half. Come back for the second side of Mirage.
Yeah. Yeah, come on. Show me the money. Show me the money. Yeah, cause it feels good right now. Yeah. Gotta show me the money. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Never been around wealth, now I'm surrounded. Nice cars at the mansion right next to the fountain. CEOs in business suits and private accountants. Yeah. Summertime parties by the pool, we lounging. Day by night, we out stunting on the main strip. Out of state trips, cars with the paint drip. How could you hate this? Jewelry in my chain sick. That's the life I wanna live. Show me the money. Show me the money. Show me the money. It's all about the lifestyle. Yeah. It's all about the lifestyle. Show me the money. Show me the money. Show me the money. It's all about the lifestyle. It's all about the lifestyle. Yeah. Come on. Show me the money. Show me the money. Show me the money. Haha. Never have to worry if I have enough dough. Fashion show out in Paris in the front row. Party every night, I don't have time to sleep. Next day it's the same, just rinse and repeat. Summertime trips on the yacht to the island. Squad rolling with me and we do a lot of wildin'. A bottle of whatever you want, just put your order in and you can have as much as you want. There's plenty more of them, yeah. Show me the money. Show me the money. It's all about the lifestyle. It's all about the lifestyle. Show me the money. Show me the money. Show me the money. It's all about the lifestyle. It's all about the lifestyle. Show me the money.
Three rounds the difference here for G2. They will have the advantage as they move into the final half of the final map of the final match of this upper bracket. One of these two teams will be a grand finalist at DreamHack Masters Spring 2020. Who will it be? It's time to find out.
Whoa, man, Bigger laid out a spawn. What are they actually responding to here? Just trying to play fast rotates, maybe? Yeah. The site's going to be open. Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh my god. 3 headshots for Xantares. This hold is a one-man army. He will go down. Can nexa best him? Oh, he's got a 3-piece back to his own name. And now it's just tabseN and Tizian left to be slain. Nexa, he hunts them. He walks around through the marketplace and they eject. They're cowering. They're hiding from him. Because this bulldozer of a man just tore through that B defense. A 4th headshot for Nexa. He is 18-8, and he has Kenny S by his side as he looks for the ace. He sees it, and he's almost got it to him, but no, it's Kenny to close. It is the second pistol to G2.
My mind is blown. That 3K from Xantares answered back by an even better 4 from Nexa. I mean, these shots were absolutely delicious.
I mean, look.
That was the milk at the bottom of a bowl of Lucky Charms. You know, it was sweet.
Just slurp that up.
But the answer back from Nexa, I mean, holy smokes! The resolve to stay calm in that situation, pull it back, identify all the frags. Man, that's nuts. G2 and Big. It seemed weird at the beginning. There was 2 in CT spawn. Maybe they were just trying to play fast rotates, just like on purpose. I don't know, but yeah, it's not enough apparently.
Ooh, nice.
All those heroics. How does this look like it's Big's round to lose? Yeah, Xantares, he pulls out the FAMAs, 2 kills, and there was it 2 SMGs down or 2 like Galil's rifles? What?
Something at the top of mid. Not quite sure, to be honest. I just saw players dying at the hands of Xantares, and he doesn't seem done, but he will be. 95 damage versus Amanek. So they do get back the control of the ladder room, but tsersN and this trusty scout. Oh, it's the Robin to his Batman. He's going to continue tapping down Cat, but yeah, they keep just facing and facing until Hunter finds the solution. Shoot him, damn it.
There's no upgrade here on the guns top mid, so it might have just been the SMGs, which, you know, not a huge advantage there to go to top mid with Mac 10s, but maybe weren't anticipating Big to buy up like they did, or just have the rifle in window. Maybe that was the surprise.
Fly over there. There's a Mac 10 and a Galil down at the top of middle.
Okay, then they probably should have upgraded. That's a weird one. I mean, Amanek's still on the Mac 10, but he is He's a bridge too far now over in CPL, and he wouldn't have got that kill with a Galil jumping into ladder.
Don't forget, there's a player here, tabseN. He's just buying time. He's letting them get closer. 14 seconds. Hunter cuts him down. Hunter and Nexa have been two shining stars for G2 in this series, and with Hunter sitting on the 3K, it's Keto on the scout. He misses his first shot, and the tap's back from Hunter. He gets the reload in, and he looks to cross over towards bench. He's playing around Keto, but giving him a chance. A second as well. Oh, no headshot connects here for Keto. The better weapon wins. G2 taking 11th, but damn, the costs.
Yeah, it's by the skin of their teeth. I mean, now it's nice for them that they had 2 MAC-10s, a Galil, whatever. They saved the 1 AK. So the costs are kind of low, even though they lost 4 players. One of the only situations where that's possible, but the round also probably comes close because of the guns available to use. But G2, they stand tall. They have 11 rounds now. Again, 5 to close out this entire series. Make it to the grand finals of DreamHack Masters.
What a trajectory for this team as well. You know, they came into DreamHack Open Leipzig not as the favorites, but more so an unknown quantity, or more so, let's say, a stale flavor. And then they delivered. And if they go from their open victory, which was the reason they got into this event, don't forget that for a moment. Leipzig served as a qualifier. Imagine if they go ahead and take this whole entire tournament. They are just 1 half away from getting into the grand finals at the least. This isn't for elimination either. You know, they could take the long road at the end of the day. Imagine a BO5 with revenge on the line between these two teams. Oh, the stories we could write. But this one's not over just yet. Don't forget for a moment, we do still have Big with some resilience, but Nexa, he's going to charge up into the A site, and tabseN tries to use the element of surprise, but that gimmick gets called out, and this is going to be G2 doubling the round count.
It's credit to Big for that first half. They didn't have the tools to put together a better half, but when they figured out something that worked, they were able to hammer it over and over again to a victory. Clearly, Big's T side needs some reworking on Mirage, and it might have been G2 to simply look like just such a stronger team that they couldn't keep up. But we know that this is a map that they win very often. So, you know, more credit to G2 than anything else. They pulled out those 9 rounds on merit, and now, 10 rounds in the first half, and
9 rounds.
Yeah, 9 rounds. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
And now G2, yeah, in the power position, they save really good guns here. Only a single kill for Big, so they've got their work cut out for them. The buy will involve an off from tabseN. He's 4 and 14. It is kind of astonishing how much of a difference there is between CT side tabseN and T side tabseN. That's something that also needs to be figured out, I think.
Sure.
Haven't pulled out the stats, but the really astonishing part is that he'll end with competent ADR score lines, whether or not he has a good T side. That's the astonishing part. Of course, that's not a great thing when you think about all of the untapped potential there on T side.
Yeah. Again,
and that's what we'll remember if this game ends. Yeah.
Once more to reiterate, Keto and tabseN still sitting on 4 kills, despite being the players who tend to perform best versus top 5 teams. So they need them to come alive. They needed them to come alive 10 rounds ago, but it's better late than never. We'll see. Kenny S is going to get flashed into CPL, just executes Xantares, and a second from Kenny, wielding the AK like some sort of professional. A third for Kenny S. He is just stampeding through this B site and impeding the ability to hold. Amanek, he's going to go ahead and plant the bomb underneath the apartments, and tabseN, well, he slipped in behind them. That op connects to his back. Now he just needs to figure out where Kenny got off to. He sees him, and he executes it with ease. tabseN now on top of the bomb, and he doesn't have a kit, so he elicits the peek. He forces the feet of Nexa to run forward, but now he needs to find him. He could still get the defuse, but he needs this shot. And Nexa, he thinks not. G2 take 13.
Instantly, it's like he goes from shrimp tabseN to like mechanical arm strong tabseN on the CT side. Almost puts together that clutch, Not even sure what the difference is between retake kills and T-side kills. Like, those are both hard to get, but he still grabs them. And man, it was a really good attempt. But man, he couldn't steal the spotlight from Kenny S on that round. The 3 kills that he got were also beautiful. Moving up towards ladder room control, calling for the flash, eliminating Xantares, trading out the cat frag, and assisting further in the B-side take. He did everything for G2 that round, and it's always cool to see him do it with rifles.
Xantares in no man's land, just completely surrounded in this one. A 14th round for G2, looking very likely. Desert Eagles, woo, still able. syrsoN, my man. We see these crazy retake attempts. We see the Juan Deegs down from jungle. He's just got to do it when his team still have a chance at winning these rounds. And they've run out of chances. You know, that's unfortunately the tail of the tape. Like, they may have performed in the past, but this match, we haven't gotten enough from them. Big. They are going to try and battle this back. 6 rounds on the CT side versus G2 on 14. They've got the bye. It's here and now or never.
Yeah, for the best, there's no rounds off. There's no halves off. There's no maps off. Whatever you play, you know. And syrsoN, we're holding him to this gold standard because of what we've seen and how good he can be. Keto on Inferno yesterday. That was a lights. I mean, in both maps, dying 5 times in total on CT sides. Unreal stat lines for both of them. Kenny S mollied out of presence on A. syrsoN takes his place. Good damage done to Kenny S. Mid control out for the T's. There's one CT here who's in a spot of danger, but yeah, syrsoN will come through with the off break and a bust through the boxes at the top of mid. An answer as well from tabseN. This is looking a whole lot better.
Yes, this is excellent. This is what Big needed. Now as well, if they can just hang on to the 5 versus 3. We've seen them work back from man disadvantages, but now they've got that double up on the advantage. So syrsoN, don't drop the ball now. Re-peek into Jax. He finishes off what he started. What was originally a wall bang ends up being the 2-piece. And Kenny S, well, the reason he's on 44 health, because we've gotten the confidence from Kenny S as he peeks through ramp in a Molotov, just offering up half of his HP, looking for these very quick entry kills. We saw it last round at the top of middle versus window, and he tried once more this time, but it didn't work out here in the 21st.
You cannot respect all grenades if you're the opper. These days, to get kills, you need to be able to be audacious enough to push through mollies, stand out in the open, these kinds of things, because it's so obvious where you'll be otherwise. But they're going to drop the bomb. It looks like the save will come out inside a palace. Nobody's going to peek farther than this. And Big, it's a great round, but again, they didn't give themselves a chance here. Losing the pistol in the second, losing so badly in the first, and now leaving G2 2 away from winning. Kenny S will have the op next round. So much money made as well on those first few rounds of the half for all of G2. So lots of chances to play here. They are not going to run out of quarters before this game is over.
Quarters, bro. These guys got loonies and toonies.
Yeah.
Golden coins falling out of their pockets like leprechauns.
Got some big ass pockets.
All right. This is it. A round on the board for Big. That's exciting because it was so convincing, right? And it was lickety split. They got those kills pretty quickly. They looked for the fights, they took them, and they came out on top. That shows us that it's possible, but it is still highly improbable. They are at half the round count of their opponents. It's going to take also G2 giving them room on top of Big taking what they want, which is definitely more than only 7 rounds.
Oof. Inside the information, inside of the B apps is Almanac. This looks like they're priming for the B split. They're already front CPL 1 in window. Heavier lean from the CTs towards the B site. Cat player here in Xantares will need to hold everything together. G2 probably looking to attack this pressure point. Rotations in for the CTs. Interesting. Rotate back around a CT spawn from window, but a third player moves over towards B.
Xantares extends into the peak of Jax, so we've got Big with a 1-man advantage. That bomb's still trying to crawl up catwalk, flashes announcing intention. But syrsoN intently down with the scope. Kenny S is gonna best him. Nexa, he's got grenades in his hands. They don't expect Zanteres, and he can't flick fast enough over to amenek. It's a retake for Big or G2 secure 15. Map and match point right here. Perhaps they are getting it. This one's nearly impossible. Keto, he would need 3 frags in this round, and he only has 4 on the map. He peeks past the scope of Kenny S, and I think he realizes that was his chance. Now that it's gone, keep the damn AK. You're gonna need every single tool you can collect because Big have a huge task ahead of them.
Despite G2 getting into the B halls with amenek on the other side of their smoke, on their side of it, with that information, Big made a really good rotate to come around into the B with 3 people. As we can see on the minimap, 3 dead, committed to the B site, and a rotator dies afterwards. And all they had to do was deny the entry. That one comes down to aim. They, in terms of information, played it just fine. Another issue is, of course, Zanteres. He rotates off of Cat into the site, as you naturally would, but now he's doubled up with thabseN back in front of the bench, which gives so much space to the T's to try to come into entry. I think the only person that could have turned it around was the guy that Hunter killed on the B apps as the extra person they didn't expect to be there. But that's what we're talking about, right? You lose a half that badly, you lose a pistol round, rounds like that will happen, and even though they were smart rounds where you were in the right positions, you can still lose. And if we're to say that Big CT side's better than G2's, over the course of the next 8 rounds, G2 could still trip over the finish line with a round like that where they hit 2 like amazing entries and there's no trades back. That's just the name of the game. So Big will have to go above and beyond to come anywhere close to winning this now.
It's that grace that G2 have made for themselves. So many match points here because of that crazy first half and the early momentum here on T side. tabseN, he's going to try to skewer one off of middle, but Jax just creeps past the ledge. Incendiary was going to keep one man off of this, but whoa, nexa, he just needs an inch, and now they could go ahead and take a mile, because Zanteres, well, he's going to be flashed back, burned off, and the pinch comes in. Jax with another frag. He's looking for it. He's jumping over top of the bomb site. He's got a player pinned. thabseN keeping this one rolling, and thabseN now coming over towards the ticket. Zanteres has also come in with a frag. It's a 2 versus 2 that ensues. Bomb down on site. 20 seconds left, and G2 is on top of the boxes. They can't get the bomb. It's awkward, but it's still possible. Nexa's retrieved it. It's a fake plant, and a player pushes past, but Nexa, he gets his gun back out. Now it's on Zanteres, or G2 are your very first finalists. They've got that bomb down, and the headshot connects. It's Nexa, leading by example with a 3-piece in the final round. G2 do it in fashion.
Yeah, well, they look sick on Mirage, is what we expected. Would have hoped to see a little bit more fight out of Big after how well that first map went, or the second map, I should say. And yeah, I mean, they can't do it in the best of 3, even though there were spots of brilliance. A nice attempt from Big, but congratulations to G2 on being your first finalist out the winner's bracket. They've got an advantage. They've got a 1-map advantage in the best of 5 in the finals. But Big, they move into the next best position in the lower bracket, waiting for 2 more games to happen. They'll get a break. We know what they can do with a break. And hopefully they come back hotter.
It's nuts to think that Big will still now be the gatekeepers, right? We've got 4 other teams in Na'Vi, Mad Lions, FaZe Clan, or Ninjas in Pajamas. One of those teams will challenge Big in the lower bracket final, and maybe, just maybe, upset versus G2. But G2, I mean, they defeated the #1 ranked team in the world just yesterday, and they went ahead and beat out Big here in this BO3 as well. I love that the Dust2 meme continues. Nexa's gonna have to chew on that one for a little bit, but congratulations, G2, you've done it. You have secured those finals. Ladies and gentlemen, our analysts await you after the break. We'll see you guys there.
G2 seal the deal on Mirage, and Nexa and Hunter get up to their old tricks once again. This is a map they are well known for. The Tiki players coming out left, right, and center, and despite Big's best efforts, they were not able to muster up a comeback. It was certainly on the cards though, but when you're going up against the G2 who were ready to fire back, I think the memes can stop now on the Dust 2 things, maybe when we come to it, but when it at least comes to Mirage, they'll stay consistent as we like to see. Now, one thing that's great for G2 here, guys, is now they're in the finals. Kenny just tweeted that himself. They can't get 0-3. They get a one-map advantage, so there you go. It's just going to work out in some way for these guys.
They're going to break the curse with style straight away, and I think they deserve it, James, right? They're by far the better team right here. I think G2 was controlling that game from the beginning, and you got to give it up for Nexa and Hunter, the two new, can we say new boys anymore? I don't think we can. It's been quite some time since they was brought into this lineup, but still the two foreign players within the G2 lineup, let's put it that way, are really doing some solid work at the moment. Nexa being the in-game leader, as I said, constantly in charge, constantly proactive, constantly moving around, and then his best buddy Hunter is completely destroying the entirety of Big right there. That was a great performance by G2, and I think they should be very, very happy for that performance tonight.
Yeah, they really should be, right? And in this way, we knew what Big could deliver. We spoke about how much they've impressed us throughout this series, but you could see the night and day difference if we ignore what happened on Dust 2. And we already spoke why Dust 2 ends up being so wild like that. But at least here at Mirage, they came in and they delivered, and they were not going to be upset in any way. They just straight out the gates, fast and furious with it all.
Yeah, definitely so. And I gotta say, I mean, for sure, G2 right now, they're drinking that sweet, sweet milk at the bottom of the cereal bowl, like Laundry said. But for Big side of things, you know, I think that they actually had a great performance on this Mirage. And although the scoreline absolutely doesn't show it, we have to remember that first half, Big, they lost 2 anti-ecos, decos, a force by coming out from the G2 side of things. And if that wasn't the case, that 9-6 half, I mean, that could be a huge swing coming out for Big. So certainly, I think their game plan, it was commendable. It was nice. It just, at the end of the day, Keto, a little absent, Searson, a little absent on the fragging department. But man, Xanteras, he did his damnedest to keep them within this game.
Oh yeah, that pistol play we saw was just incredible, but that phone's ringing once again. And this time we're going to have Nexa from G2. Nexa, I think we should just start from the point that you cannot get 0-3 now, mate. This is a good sign straight away.
Yeah, exactly. It's the best thing about about reaching this grand final.
Next, Kenny told us that you guys took a break after the group stage. How much did you guys need that break?
We really, really needed it. We've been ever since IEM Katowice, we've been nonstop like practicing for like 3.5 months straight, like just practicing and playing everything we could. And then like at the end of Road to Rio, we just like ran out of gas. And even in like the group stage, you could see that like honestly, if Heroic like Nico didn't fail to defuse that bomb, we wouldn't even be here. And the break was like really needed for us. And after we had this like few days to recharge, you could say, we just came back swinging in full force.
Yeah, and you guys are back at a boot camp. How does that feel? It seems to me like you guys are already now playing much better.
Yeah, I really miss the guys, and the same is for everyone else. Like, we really miss each other at this environment where we're all together, like fist bumping each other, screaming and giving the energy to others. It's something else, and it doesn't even come close to like playing from your own home.
Now, speaking of the camaraderie being really polished right now for you guys, after that Dust 2 loss, we know that you guys are very lighthearted and you can take these losses really well as a squad, but what do you take away from a loss going into Mirage? What do you discuss as the in-game leader? What do you tell your players? Can you give us the secrets?
I don't really tell them anything special. I think we lost the Dust 2 because they just got the momentum, and all 3 maps definitely felt like they were momentum based. Like once someone started rolling, we would win a few clutches, and then on Nuke we would suddenly like be up 10-2 without even noticing it. And the same happened on Dust 2. Like they won a few rounds, we failed like some clutches, and then before we could even notice, it was like 7-1 or 8-1 or something. And by then, you know, the half was out of our hands. But I think we still could have brought it back, but they had some good plans on their city side, and they just shut us down from the beginning. And then coming into Mirage is just a completely reset. It's a new map. It's a best of one. Every time it happens, you're gonna lose maps every time you play, and it's nothing new. You just do a mental reset. You start with your pistols. You have your game plan. You're ready to play, and I'm sure it was the same for them after Nuke. And yeah, like this time, we won a few like legal rounds and, you know, some really nice clutches, and we got the momentum, and things started rolling for us, and we were just like unstoppable on our T set.
Now, next, I want to be real cheeky here and end this with asking you, who do you think you'll be facing in the finals? Who do you think has got the chance to make it all the way back to face you guys?
I would definitely like it to be Navi. I think I think they have the most chances, and I would really like to have this rematch against them. You know, the current number 1 against number 2, at least on HLTV, and you know, to square off and beat them again to actually cement our spot on the new rankings.
I'd certainly like to see that again as well, especially in a grand final scenario with all the stakes up there. Nexa, thank you so much for your time, man. Go off and enjoy the celebrations and watch the rest of the Counter-Strike Madness over the next few days and wait to see who you're going to face.
I will. Thank you guys for having me.
No, thank you, mate. Do you know what, from when I was first interviewing Nexa before the G2 days all the way to now, he just gets better and better at how he articulates himself, how he answers these things. And do you know what? I'm still confused by teams that pick Dust 2. I'm still confused how it all goes down. But the fact they were able to just reset like that, it shows a hell of a lot of resilience, especially going into a match like this that's so important.
There's no doubt that Nexa right now has to be considered as not only one of the best in-game leaders in the world in terms of his ability to enable that entire squad to play as well as they're doing, but also in terms of his own fracking ability, right? He's one of the, if not the best fracking in-game leader we have right now. Of course, you can argue that Nico and FaZe Clan, it's tough to compete against him, but how good of an in-game leader is he when it comes down to the nitty-gritty? I'm not too sure about that. We know him to be a great fracker. It feels like, to me, that Nexa got that whole package. So if I were a Counter-Strike fan out there, if I'm new to the game, you know, look out in a year or two from now on, it could very well be the case that Nexa is one of the most impactful in-game leaders we have in the Counter-Strike scene.
Well, that phone ringing once again means it's interview time. We got tabseN here with us. tabseN, that was a hard-fought game, mate. Back and forth. Nuke obviously did not go well, and then you guys came out and stunned them on Dust 2. You guys speak about your preparation a lot, and how do you prepare for a team like G2 that is definitely very different to like a maybe not as well structured, maybe a bit more mid-round plays coming in there than what you might expect?
Well, yeah, obviously I don't want to go too much into detail. It's I would say it's a little bit more of a secret from ourselves, how we prepare into and how we go into the games. But I would say like we just have our own rhythm, how we watch the games, how we prepare, and what needs to be done, basically.
tabseN, it's no secret that you guys are going to be very devastated right now, but what did you take away from this Mirage match? Because we saw that 9-6 first half, I mean, you guys lost 2 anti-ecos, but you were completely within the game. But towards the end there, that second half, you just looked really deflated. What was the comms like within the squad? Were you guys deflated, or was the ideas just not coming through?
Oh, well, definitely. Like after the first half, I think we've managed to do a good comeback. If we wouldn't have lost one of the eco rounds, I think it could have been even closer. But overall, I think we were still really hyped going into the CT side. I mean, if we lose the pistol round like we did it, the way we did, it's really heartbreaking and it's a really tough situation to come back through. But we tried our very best, and unfortunately it didn't work out, and we have played against a very well played G2.
Happens that it's not a secret that you guys are right now playing some I would say solid Counter-Strike. You guys are getting better game by game, and you're starting to mark your ways in terms of the international Counter-Strike scene. One thing I have noticed though is that syrsoN, especially on the T side, doesn't find as much impact as he does on the CT side. You being the in-game leader, is that something you're aware of? Is that a problem for you, or is that just, you know, a natural course of the way you're playing right now?
Of course, we are aware of that, but honestly, I think it's a part of the system. Every opera needs to be part of the system at some point. He has his rounds where he can just shine off, and he's doing it, of course. Other than that, I think he's one of the best operas in the world right now who's capable of entry fragging. And if you find a way how to manage to do it more often, I think it will be really good, yeah.
Yeah, you as an in-game leader, we just spoke to Nexa, sorry, and I made the argument that he could be one of the best in-game leaders in the world. I think you remind me a lot of Nexa in the sense that you are a great fracker as well as being an in-game leader. We've probably asked you this before, but how comfortable are you in the role as an in-game leader right now? And do you think that you're nowhere near like your top level, or can you still get much better?
Of course, I enjoyed. Like from days to days, I enjoyed always a little bit more. It's really tough, especially it gives me more experience in these kind of games, even if it's online. It's a really tough game. It's a really well-heated game. Everything needs to be on point. Every communication from the teammates needs to be on point to really work with. work around with. And I really enjoy it. I think also my individual skill is not on the very top. I think I can step up a little bit more, but I need a little bit help from my teammates as well. And they are in a really good way. And if I don't have them on my back, I can't play better. It's impossible.
Well, you guys are certainly playing well, and you're not out of it yet. You dropped down to the lower bracket, so it's time for you guys to prepare and continue to push on forward, mate. We're looking forward to seeing the games. tabseN, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, guys. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye-bye.
tabseN there, giving it us all, and it's a tough one for him because you lose your map pick, you come in really hot on Dust 2, but to see a team that can look like they have such a chance in a game like on Mirage and it just slowly whittle away, the comeback was trying to happen, you gotta feel sorry for him.
Yeah, definitely so. Man, just that pistol round. I felt it when tabseN mentioned it. I mean, when Xantares is able to get 3 1-taps on a B hit, and then Nexa just one-ups him with a 4K, almost an ace, it's got to be devastating. It's like the biggest whiplash while you're in that server.
Well, let's have a look back at the games we saw today, starting with this Mad Lions taking on Fnatic. And the Mad Lions, well, they continue to pounce all over their opponents because Fnatic could not hold strong. Yes, we got the 3 maps. Yes, we saw the craziness go down. But Fnatic still not in the best shape from what we saw back in Road to Rio, right? And in Pro League, they were looking so much better.
They were looking better. They were looking much better. And I think Golden said it pretty well that they're struggling a little bit playing online right now. They're looking very much forward to having a boot camp and maybe getting the same effect that G2 is experiencing right now. Getting that energy, getting to see each other, get to, I guess, touch each other, fist pumping each other. It creates energy and it creates a good environment sometimes. I'm sure Christine can enlighten us more to that. Boot camps is just a great thing to be part of when you're a professional Counter-Strike player. So, yeah, it's probably going to get better. On the other hand, you got to give credit to Mad Lions. I think the guy on the screen right here, Acor, he's one of the most interesting players to watch right now. He is so insanely good with the AWP, and his movement is just a joy to watch. So even if he's not having a game where he's dropping 30 frags or 35, he always does something in a game that is just going to rattle out the opponent. So if I were a player playing against Acor, I'd hate my life.
I don't blame you either, mate. I wouldn't want to be playing up against that anytime soon. And then we saw Nip go up against Vitality, and Nip, they striked back in style. I think that was an impressive way because we saw the game before, right, where it was heavily relying on Twist having these amazing performances over and over again. Yes, he performed well today, but he wasn't the complete relied on player for this, at least.
No, definitely not. It was an absolute team effort. And one thing about Twist that I really liked today is that he showed up once again with multiple clutches, which yesterday I was afraid that it would be a one-off. But man, this NIP, they're looking better and better day by day. And yeah, he showed up in strides as well too. Yesterday in that 3rd map, he was a little bit more absent. But man, this NIP roster, just each individual stepping up once again.
Well, it's all about seeing how far Nip can go now as they push on forward. But for us, right, we've had another one of these crazy days of Counter-Strike. We just ended it all with this G2 versus Big match, seeing G2 make it to the grand finals. But at least Big didn't get blown out of the water with it. But let's take a look at the bracket. Let's see the next few matchups we're going to be having coming our way. As you already know, G2 sit in that grand final spot. And because it's the best of 5, they already have a 1-map advantage. Big's going to be sat down there waiting to see who they might face. And we've got Na'Vi, Mad Lions, FaZe versus Nip. And actually, right, if this was a couple of weeks ago, I probably would have said like FaZe versus Nip. Okay, easy FaZe. But Nip, they can make this one definitely in their favor.
Yeah, surely. I think the version of FaZe Clan we saw yesterday, that was a little bit worrisome. Maybe that was just the day off. We don't really know whether that's going to happen or not again, but I think it's going to be a great matchup no matter what. Mad Lions, I called it 2 days ago. They are my dark horse to go a far way in this tournament. I think they can beat Na'Vi. I think they have what it takes. I think Acor is right now playing a brand of Counter-Strike that I'm a big fan of. I think Mad Lions is a team that they're looking to make their mark on the international scene. They won Flashpoint, and we can all agree that Flashpoint was a tier 2, tier 3 tournament. There was not a lot of competition in that one. Now they get to play a DreamHack Masters tournament where all the best teams are gathered in the world, and they're still doing well. So they will be highly motivated to make this lower bracket one. To round it off with, NIP, as you said, a team that is just getting better and better every time we play it. G2 in the final, I cannot wait to see who they're going to play, but there's realistically 5 teams who all can make it all the way to the final, so it should be very interesting to follow.
Yeah, it really will be. And I think one thing here is that nexa, okay, he wants to go and face against that Na'Vi, but if we see the same Na'Vi that faced off against them, they might even struggle here going up against that Mad Lions lineup. I don't think it'll be that clear cut or easy. But it's that time of the day again, guys. Oh, sorry, Polly, you go on. You can go. You can go.
I just wanted to mention, I appreciated the fact that nexa, he had that answer so quick. As soon as you asked James, who do you want to face in that final? He said Na'Vi, no questions asked. I want to solidify who number one is. So I really respected that coming out of nexa.
I just want to point out that in my Betway predictions, I had G2 in the final, just to make you guys feel bad about your predictions. So I got 1 out of 2.
I had him in the final as well. I just haven't come from the lower bracket, Pimp. Yeah,
me
that's the difference.
I'll just keep quiet then. Never mind.
As long as we get Na'Vi in the final against him, right, we can still save ourselves some face for a bit. But someone who was popping faces, at least in his game, even though his team is annihilated now, the Corsair player of the day is going to go to none other than Zywu, getting it done with his pistol ace on Mirage. Of course, it had to be him.
The fun part about this is that when he did that, I wrote the production, you guys better sit ready to do a highlight package of Zywu on Mirage. And to be told right, he did not have a great night tonight. Of course, Zywu was playing well, but he was not playing as well as he could have, especially on the third and deciding map against NIP. But look at that ace. Like, he's just... he's annoying right now because once again, he's making you doubt, is Simple or Zywu the best player in the world? I guess we can all agree that Simple, as of recently, have been the better player, but Zywu is slowly but surely stepping it up, and maybe we're going to have another fantastic duel in 2020 where we don't really know who's the best player, and we can at least discuss it. For now, Zywu, with those USB headshots, he's making a great case for him.
Oh yeah, it's a real, and that whole topic, right, about Zywu versus Simple in this, we're getting such different performances come out of both of them at different times as well. I want to see one of those matches where we get Vitality taking on Na'Vi and both those players are in form. That is the one you want to see, right, of who's going to be able to truly take it in a server like that. But as we near the end of the day, we got to thank all the people that make this possible. Thank you to all of our amazing sponsors here, from Corsair, Intel, Monster Energy, DTS, AT&T, and Betway, because we would not be working right now. You guys would not be viewing amazing Counter-Strike action all week long here at the DreamHack Masters. But thank you for everyone for watching. We're done and dusted. We're going to go back, get some sleep, and we'll be rolling this all around again tomorrow. So make sure you're up in time to watch all of the great matches coming your way.